Oh,
Okay.
actually, no, I'm going something else. On that one.
So, uh, yeah, let's go with a relatively succinct sort of introduction to everything here. So basically, what's happened is, if you've looked through the news thread there that I set up, both one in Roll20 and one in the synopsis of section on Discord there. What uh, some of the events that have happened since the show sort of ended there. Um, in 2015, the Lucian Alliance attempted to attack Earth. It was very, very hard to explain away aliens existing as a result because plenty of major cities saw them in their skies. They were stopped, like there were no major casualties or anything, but at that point, it's became almost impossible to deny the existence of aliens. The SGC itself and the Stargate program is still somewhat secret. Um, the you know it was already partially underway, but it got pushed forward and sort of rushed in a little bit faster to officially form an alliance with a number of different groups as a result of that attack. Um, the the starting cultures and planets that existed in the treaty initially were the Free Jafar Nation, Hebridan, the Tok'ra Nation, the Tolan, and the United Tari, which more or less Earth still isn't properly united. It's just that they've made the SGC a more international organization and now somewhat more interstellar organization as well. Um, then at the start of the year that we're taking place in the game, so the start of 2020, coronavirus was detected just like it was in our world. um, it escaped. It escaped planetary quarantines and actually spread throughout the Milky Way. Um, but with the assistance of the Tolan, the Asgard database, and a few other cultures there, they got it under control a lot faster. I say under control, they've only just, found a cure about a month ago where we're taking place in, a little over a month ago, I think it was actually, in where we're taking place in the story here. So the first people to receive the vaccine dose, injections, were SGC personnel and their families. And basically, last Friday, an announcement was made where SGC personnel would return to duty as of Monday, which is today. So if you look in your group sheet, you can see there's a tab there that'll have info and resources, and in there is also a timeline. At the moment, that's for your group sheet. It's just going to be a timeline of events that you encounter. I'll also, that you can put in there yourselves as a group. Above all the character sheets there's a Stargate Alliance news network there, and that's got summaries in that section of the timeline for basically the events that have happened so far. So yeah, basically we're starting out, and the starting date here is the 18th of May 2020. Your first day back after being isolated and everything from and being off work as a result of the whole COVID thing. But yeah, you're back, and as you arrive at the SGC, wherever it is that you've been staying, I assume you've got your own house in the nearby town there. They bought up a large portion of the town and walled it in. Have security gates to get through that you have to show your pass to get in and out. Everyone that lives in that section of the town is under an NDA, what they can and can't talk about. And that's where the majority of SGC personnel live these days, is in that section of the town. So when it comes to races such as the Wraith or the Asgard, you're not readily interacting with the majority of the town. You're sort of living in this section of the city. Alternatively, as the Wraith, you might have returned to the Pegasus Galaxy in the meantime. It's really up to you where you've been during this whole shutdown of the SGC. But now that they've got everyone coming back, however it is that you arrive at the SGC here, as you go through the front gates, you're greeted by a guard there who hands you instructions for how to proceed for the day.
Mighty thanks, gentlemen. I take it and I read what are the instructions.
Yeah. So it says to report to level sub-level 1, which has been reorganized and changed in its layout. Says the first 4 sub-levels have been somewhat changed in their function and layout from what they were previously. And your instructions there say that there's going to be some rearranging of the existing SG teams as a result of, some people leaving the program, other people coming in. Like there's been so many changes during this time here that a restructuring has to take place, and so they're going to start meeting in groups and from there determine how the team should be made up and who should be in them. So your particular set of instructions there say that you're to report to sub-level 1 and meet with a individual named Major Ward.
Is there like a map or directions?
Yeah, so you've been in the facility before, you know your way there, so I'm just going to switch you to the right map there. Yeah, so up in the top left of this map, you'll see that there's an elevator. So that's how you'll get into the sub-level 1 when you arrive, is everyone will come in through that elevator.
Quite a nice looking office.
So you can drop your tokens on when you're ready and proceed.
Just the name of Steve, no last name.
I'll be back. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah.
I'm back.
Back, I guess. Yeah. So I guess the immediate thing to talk about here is yeah, how is it that you want to proceed with this? Are you just gonna go straight in there, or?
Yep, I'm just going to make my way there.
Okay.
I'm just going to tag along.
Hello, fellow
I'll come along with you.
Whoa.
foreigners.
What was that? So Daniel Jackson.
Yeah. So as you proceed into the main briefing room here, you know, around you you see a number of people. There are quite a lot of personnel here, awaiting their
Oh man, is the Asgard beaming
sightings.
them down? They're just appearing.
We tend to do that.
I mean, the Asgards did randomly beam in and out.
Yeah. So Major Ward is at the head of the table. So in here at the moment, you can see a few different people. And all right, listen up here. You've been assigned to my unit, and you will be accompanying me to the Talos site, where we will distribute their doses of the vaccine and see if they're and gather their reports for the 2 months in which they have been unable to communicate with us. Upon completion of the mission, I will decide whether or not I will keep you in my unit or get rid of you. Any questions?
No, sir.
Right. Now, I want each and every one of you to know a little bit about one another so that helps perform good cohesion in the team. And then you can, be friendly or hate each other. I don't really care, but I want you to each know at least something about the others here. Right, so let's start with Specialist Raymond.
Hi. Hi, hello. Yeah, I'm Raymond, and I'm not much of a talker here. I'm more into shooting bad guys and stuff. Nice to meet you all.
Right. Apparently, that's what, okay. Moving on. Lilith.
Cool. Maybe she's a mute.
Lilith?
Is Lilith of Alliance?
Right. Apparently, she's fallen asleep, so in the meantime, Steve, why don't you tell us a little about your hive, as it were?
Hi, my name's Steve. No, I'm not going to do that accent. All right. So, hi, my name's Steve. I'm from the Pegasus Galaxy. I've been excommunicated by my hive because apparently I like to feed a little bit too much. I think that, there's nothing wrong with feeding. You need to get your food from somewhere, but apparently I was doing it too much. But I don't really like to talk about my past that much. I'm trying to get over that. So that's me excommunicated from my hive because I like feeding.
Right. Specialist Raymond, you better watch him and make sure he doesn't feed on any of your team.
I mean, I could just feed on him.
Now, the Asgard here. Give us a rundown on why you've joined up with the SGC.
Hello there. Unlike Raymond, I do the talking and not the shooting. I have a silver tongue both in speech and in cooking. So hopefully my delicious delectables can satisfy Steve over here.
Well, I don't think he got what I meant by feeding, but that's okay. I guess you guys will find out shortly.
Oh, I know.
Wow.
But I will overcome all racial boundaries. My cooking is the greatest.
Can you guys hear me?
Wow.
Oh, I think Lilith might have finally woken up. Why don't you give
Sorry,
us
my settings got messed up.
those details there that we're so needing?
Nope.
Well, anyways, I'm Lilith. I'm a Tok'ra. I've been on Earth for quite a while, but I'm new to the SGC.
Okay. Now, does any of you have any experience with the particular mission we're going on?
Applying vaccinations?
Yes.
No.
I do have some experience in viruses.
Right. Have any of you
little bit.
been to Talos site before?
No.
Have we? Can we say we have, or
If you want to say that you've been there before, you can.
okay, then no. I mean, it's just a weird question.
Okay, well, I will give you a moment to get acquainted and check over the facilities here and what might have changed. And in about, 20 minutes, we will be moving out through the gate. And I don't want any one of you to be late. Understood?
In 20 minutes.
Yes.
Quick
Yes,
question:
sir.
is there a database we can access for information of Talos for those of us not acquainted?
Yes, there should be a computer terminal right behind you there, and information about the site is all loaded up ready for you to look over.
Thank you so much. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Right. I will see you in the debarkation room. Dismissed.
Bye.
Bye.
And,
Yeah, by the way,
that,
I'm here as well, but I just don't have a token.
Drag it.
that's okay.
Oh, hang on.
For the moment, do you have any idea what it is that you want to look like?
Anything generic, I don't really care.
Okay. I'll just bring something up for the moment.
What race are you?
I'm an android.
Android, interesting.
Let's see.
Alright, well, I'll check out the.
Tell me,
computer
do you
center.
dream of electric sheep?
No, I have normal dreams just like everyone else. But for some reason, everything I dream is in color, unlike you, mere mortal.
Is that a good representation, something like that, or would you like a little bit more human looking?
Trying to find out where it is.
Is there any humans
In
around here?
character
other than-
creation, I dropped it.
Whose
in
character's
Discord.
human?
Yeah, they're all human that you're looking at.
Find that.
No, but like out of our group here, who's human?
There's one, Raymond.
Raymond. All right, I'm gonna walk up to
And
Raymond and
kind
give
of
him a good.
Lilith.
I'm gonna give him a good.
Jesus Christ, that is horrifying. Yeah, sure. Okay.
As just an example, doesn't have to be that if you.
No, that's great. I like it.
Okay,
I have a human host.
so we're going to.
Oh, you go, Wool.
I'm Tokra.
Oh, right. No, I've gone up to Raymond and I have sniffed him.
I'll just drop that in there for now. Once you've made up a character name for yourself, then you can
Actually,
let
we're
people
Tokra.
know that. As for
Already have.
there you go. So you can drop that into the map for now, and you should be able to move it around like a token, but it's just going to not be quite as nice looking as the others just yet.
Well, it matches the carpet, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, blends in. So
He has SGC camo.
Okay. There you go. So that'll work for the moment, and then I'll, if that's how you'd like to look, then I'll work on the token later, and we'll get that running for you. But for now, yeah. So available to you is floors sub-level 1, sub-level 2, 3, 4, and then when you're ready to embark, you can head to sub-level 28 for the gate route.
I want to head directly to that terminal that he said.
oops, I did not mean to roll that.
And access it for information.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tower over you. See what you're doing.
I'm specifically looking for like the chemistry, the atmosphere, the wildlife, and if they're specifically looking for if there's any rare ingredients that I can find there.
While I'm behind you, I literally say, wow.
This can improve odds of mission success.
Yeah. So what you see in there about Talos site is that it's a research facility set up by the SGC. Somewhat like the Alpha site or the Omega site. It's just this one is specifically focused on researching artifacts found. So the majority of the city is inside a bunker. There is a way to get out onto the rest of the surface and explore if you wanted to. The atmosphere of the planet is described as completely, standard for human existence. The planet itself seems to be described as abandoned, desert-like.
Can I roll a life science to see if I find any rare ingredients there?
can
Or that would
roll.
possibly grow there.
Yeah, you can roll life science and see if there's anything that would grow in that environment.
Average difficulty.
Yeah, it'd be average.
Yes.
Oh, how many have we got with us? We got all 5 of you. Okay. So, yeah, you don't know for certain. You know, there's a chance there is, but you're not sure. You think you'd have to look once you get there. For those of you who have played the Star Wars one before and not much of Genesys, Genesys works a little differently in that you don't roll for destiny at the beginning of a session. It's called story points as opposed to destiny points. Basically works the same way, except that the players start with as many story points as there are players, and the GM starts with none.
Oh, interesting.
So rather than rolling and finding out how many each have, you start with all of them
Cool.
at
I
the beginning of
believe
each
when
session.
we spend story points, they go to the GM.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Lilith was looking over the Asgard's shoulder, expecting that he would know exactly what to look up. But when he gets distracted looking for ingredients, she'll check to see if there's any like possible threats on the site.
Yeah.
Like if there's been any world activity.
So as far as they're aware, the planet here listed in your database is shows signs on this planet of a previous civilization. It's part of why it was chosen, but it looks like it's not been in use for quite a long time. They're going over and looking at the artifacts on the planet, and according to the listing here, during the last 2 months where the SGC has been shut down, they continued just they weren't authorized to go on any gate travel, so they spent most of the time digging through the ruins on this planet and finding quite a few artifacts.
Does it say what the origin of the artifacts are? Or is
They're
it
still
completely
looking
unknown?
over them at the moment. That's part of what your mission is here, to go and find out.
Okay.
Okay. So, is there anything else anyone wants to ask about at all?
Mhm.
Not really. I'm going to go over and sniff all these humans.
Yeah, my only question is why do we have a wraith that was too hungry to be in the wraith hive?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not quite sure why that's the case. So,
I'm trying to do some good, but I'm very hungry all the time.
Keep an eye on Steve.
okay.
Hope that he does not
I
have a
like
taste
to
for
walk the
food.
line between what I think is right and what should be right. Are we going back to the elevator?
Yeah. I mean, you can check out the other floors here, or you can head straight for the gate room. It's up to you.
Just going to follow Raymond about.
What's on the other floors?
Yeah. So,
Anything?
you go up and you see a plaque on the wall by the elevator there, and it lists sub-level 2 has been redesignated the lab and the med bay. Sub-level 3 is now the barracks. Sub-level 4 is the brig. Sub-level 27 is the normal briefing room next to the general's office, and sub-level 28 is the gate room. All the other ones seem to be listed as classified.
I'm gonna pull the android aside, who's over my shoulder, and say, "Don't you think it's a little bit overkill for a simple this group for a simple virus? They're not telling us anything."
There's something definitely going on here, but for the meantime, until that wraith does anything wrong, I'm just going to go with our orders. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for the wraith.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I don't think I trust the wraith.
I'm worried.
Or the mission, or this team. But I am a combat android, so if you've got me with you, then this is going to be a tough mission.
No worries, we will watch your back.
I mean, I'm not interested in the android.
You do all the fighting for me.
You don't have to worry about me.
I'm not worried about any threats right now, but the wraith worries me, especially the feeding.
Oh, I am the wraith.
Oh,
So, yeah, you don't have to worry about me.
Dun dun dun.
oh. Sorry, my optical sensors seem to be malfunctioning a bit. Just casually just walks away.
Right. Yeah, so are you just all heading straight down, or what's the plan here?
For me, I'll be heading straight down
Okay.
with my equipments.
There's no like armory we should stop by along the way or anything.
If you've not bought equipment yet, do that in the meantime. I think most people have now.
Yeah, I bought equipment.
Yeah, I got mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can never be too prepared.
I'm going to on this way when if there's anybody that seems important as we pass, I'm gonna schmooze up to them, making small talk. Oh, my name's Jashin. New recruit here. Look, pleasure to be working with you.
Lilith will be doing exactly the same.
Okay. So as you arrive down on this level, the elevator.
The gate room. Woo!
The elevator is relatively close to the center of the map there.
Where? Oh, here.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Steve.
yeah. So you notice that there's it's not particularly busy at the moment. There's in the gate room itself, you see Major Ward still just ready to embark through the gate, waiting for all the various people to arrive. So there's the 5 of you, and then there's a few other people who are in the briefing room with you as well. But you know, if you look up, you can see the gate technician sort of sitting there operating the gate in the control room. If you look up high, there's the other window, and where you know that there's the briefing room and the general's office there. Right. Glad that none of you are late. It seems that you're in fact early.
Eager
to get going, I'm assuming.
15 minutes early is on time.
Right.
On time is late.
Well, seems that everyone is here early. Sergeant, he looks up at the control room. Any chance we can get this party going ahead of schedule? Sergeant speaks over the intercom there. I don't know that we can do that.
It's really far away.
Right. Ready to go?
That sounds better.
According to the general, we can let you move out immediately.
Alright, let's move.
Alright.
Chevron 1 encoded.
Love it.
Chevron 2 encoded. Chevron 3 encoded.
We have to say everyone?
He keeps going this way for all the way through, and then Chevron 7 locked. And with that, the gate, the unstable vortex proceeds forward and settles back into the horizon. Right, ladies and gentlemen here. If you've never seen the gate activate before, this is behind me, the Stargate. Now, those that I spoke to earlier, I think have all come from previous missions with the SGC or other worlds. So you'll probably know what this thing behind me is. As for the rest of you standing around here, well, just walk through it. So yeah, he proceeds through the gate, and expects everyone to follow as they want to.
Quick out of character question. Our characters would know the return coordinates, right? We're late enough in this Stargate program, right?
Everyone,
Okay.
so yes, on your character sheets, for those of you who haven't done so, your race starts with a Stargate address, your character starts, and then everyone knows Earth's address as well. So basically, if you look in the section on your sheet, I think it is in the item inventory. At the bottom of it is a Stargate address list. If you open that up, your race started with one, so you can pop in the planet designation, the numerical address, and the description of it. I'm still working on all the descriptions properly and everything, but you can... Then there's a bit underneath that says memorized or recorded. So everyone can basically the way it works is you can memorize your intellect plus 2 number of Stargate addresses. If they're memorized, you can dial them without rolling for them at any time. The ones listed as recorded are ones you might have on a data pad or a tablet or a phone or just written on a bit of paper for recorded addresses. Those ones you're going to have to make a check for because you might have written them down wrong, you might be typing them in wrong, or you might be under some sort of stress. If you don't have a gate address at all, you can still try and dial it. If you want to try and dial randomly or pick up an address from a previous use of the gate or, through scientific method or anything like that, you can do that. There's a number of different ways you can get gate addresses. And you can always try and do a random dialing, and it's going to be a much, much harder check to do that, but you can do it. But memorized addresses are always going to be useful to have. So it's your intellect plus 2. So, as a default, there shouldn't be anyone who doesn't have
3 at least.
Yeah, at least the ability to remember 3 addresses.
Does Earth count as one of those 3?
Yes. So everyone starts with 2 memorized ones. That'll be your the one listed on your race, and the Earth address. Now, if you're someone with a symbiote, there's an alternate, like on the symbiote part or the race alteration. It gives an alternate one that you can pick for your race instead of the one that your host would know. You can choose which one you want out of those 2. If you've got that sort of setup. But as you go along, you can pick up more addresses as well. So, if no one's looked at the address for Talos site, then you probably don't know that one yet. But, you might have looked at it while you were looking through the database.
Probably would have.
Yeah, that would have been,
So for now, in each of your character sheets, if you have to go back to the race information for that one, you can. Don't bother putting the full description yet. You can do that later. And for numerical address, we'll deal with that once I've got the full list done up properly. But just pop in the planet designation or site designation. So, the ones that you know from your race, from then Earth, and if you looked at the entry on Talos site, you can put that. You can also choose if you want Talos site to be recorded or memorized, but remember you're only able to memorize equal to intellect plus 2. And 2 of those are already taken up. So if you'd rather just have it recorded and grab a better one later, you can do that too.
Can you forget? You can forget them, right?
Yeah, I'm still working out how that's going to function, but the idea is, yes, you can deliberately forget some. But I'm still working out the functionality of how that'll work.
Smack him on the head.
I mean, just learn. You learn a new one. You forgot the old one. Too much information.
Right.
You learn your limit.
Maybe it should be like a random chance of which one you lose.
Yeah.
Whoa. Steve.
Yeah. So you step through the Stargate here. And as you step forward into Talos site, you notice that you're in some sort of antechamber sort of area. It's yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna step forward.
Yeah, so this antechamber is basically part of some sort of ancient ruins.
I'm never gonna get used to that.
Yeah. Welcome to Talos site. Now, who was it that picked up those doses for us?
Fuck. Yeah.
Come on.
So we didn't do that.
No one stopped by medical to grab the vaccine.
That was
Nope.
not an on-job description. That was not explicitly stated.
Right. Who wants to radio back and tell them that you fucked up?
Don't go back through the wormhole. You'll die.
I believe that as commander of this operation, you are responsible.
You know what? I'll just radio it. I'll radio back to the SGC command and ask them to, if possible, to hand us the vaccine.
What is this thing over here? Just gonna walk around
With the light.
behind the Stargate, just for fun.
Right.
Keep an eye on Steve.
Right. I'm just getting this token set up really quick here. Sorry. So that it can have all the details there. There you go. Now you've got a proper token for your character that should work just fine. Right. Okay. So, Raymond radios back to the SGC there, and a few minutes later, through the wormhole is tossed a case.
I'll pick it up.
So it's got an encumbrance of 2.
Oh, I guess I'm over encumbrance.
Yeah. So basically, if you're over encumbered, what happens is you add a setback die to any checks you make. You're over encumbered, which is the black dice for anyone who doesn't know the system. Yeah, so you've got the doses there. Good! Now, if we proceed forward and deliver these to the scientists in Talos Site facility.
Let us tally forth.
Does the wormhole turn off?
Yeah, so behind you it shuts down, and you...
I now walk through the portal backwards, from the backwards to the front.
Okay.
We got a jokester over here.
Yeah.
I'm amused.
So once you head through the main part there, where the entrance to the antechamber, you find that there has been some makeshift elevators set up here, just to the one side.
Oh, is the entrance down below?
No, it's up the top there. That's the elevator. And yeah, they head down into this lower facility here, and you're accompanied by your commander, Major Ward. And yeah, I guess someone can proceed and let me know what you want to do.
So wait, the vaccine is supposed to be passed to someone else, am I right? Or are we supposed to administer it to someone?
You're supposed to find the medical staff here and give them the vaccines to administer to their personnel.
So is the medical personnel in the vicinity, or is it somewhere else?
As you're looking around, there appears to be no one here.
Replicators?
Are there any signs of struggle? Any burn marks? Is there any obvious signs of resistance and or disturbance?
Perception check.
Yes, perception check's a good one for that one. Any obvious signs? So it's going to be an easy check.
Did you get
Yeah,
triumph?
you look around and you see
Oh, is that an advantage or a triumph? What is that?
Advantage.
Oh, it's advantage, right.
A is the
Lilith has
advantage.
rolled with a lot of challenge dice for some reason.
Yeah. You would have succeeded if you didn't roll.
That's a huge perception check. What the fuck?
That's to like see in the dark while you're blindfolded while you're being waterboarded.
I need hit the perception.
Do you have your red dice up? Because you have your dice
No,
pool has.
It is up 5. I don't know why it was.
Remember, when you change your dice pool, click off of the section before you do anything, otherwise it won't register that you've changed it. So after you've changed it, click off to the side. Yeah, so you look around there, Zhao Shen, and you notice there are some odd marks around, but you wouldn't designate it as burn marks or scorch marks or anything, but they're definitely abnormal.
Does anyone know anything about these marks over here? I point to them.
Lilith apparently did not notice those marks, but also you slightly... Actually, you do, because you don't need 2 difficulty, you only need the 1 on this check.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you notice them as well.
If I go over there and I like take my finger to it, is it like dust? Is it residue? Or is it like cake? Like what is it?
So as you touch it, the metal crumbles around it.
Can I roll a life science chemistry check to see if I know what would cause this?
Yeah, you can give me a life science check.
What difficulty?
That'd be probably hard.
Doesn't look like an obvious staff blast or something like that.
Doesn't look like scorch or plasma marks as far as you can tell.
I really need to get my life science up.
Yeah, from what you can tell, this appears to be some sort of acid burn.
You're dealing with some sort of acid.
Right. Troops, what is it that you've discovered? Because it doesn't seem like there's anyone here.
There seems to be the whereabouts are unknown, but there are traces of acid. Could be an attack of some sort or a chemical accident.
Can anyone explain to me why the entire facility does not have any personnel, on top of which it does not appear to have any artifacts?
We are in the process of figuring this out.
This was supposed to be a research site. There appears to be no one here and nothing to research. Right.
It appears that they may be in danger and or already dead.
Who of you knows the protocol? Yes, this is a test at this point. Then we'll find whatever happened to these people.
Can I
Do we
roll a
report back?
social to see what they're looking for? A knowledge skill for the protocol, for the
So
textbook.
the protocol would actually sit under warfare. This one.
Warfare. Okay. What difficulty?
It would be probably an average check in this case.
By the way, I don't mean to like take. You guys can feel free to make checks too. I don't mean to be the only one.
I kind of want you or someone to figure out what we're supposed to do, but I want to make a deception check to pretend like I also knew.
Well, apparently Zhao Shen is unaware of the specific protocol. But if you have, what would you like to do with your advantage?
Can I give a answer that is not the protocol, but it sounds good?
Yeah, what would you like to say?
The protocol is to report back to the superior, report back to the superiors, scout the area for any survivors and wait further instructions.
No, that is incorrect. Does anyone else want to have a go at telling me the protocol?
I'm definitely not going to because I have 1 green. I will go over to the corner and do a backflip.
Right. The protocol is as follows. We are to dial the gate immediately, report back to the SGC what has happened here. As far as we are aware, everyone is missing. Then we will proceed with rescue operations. Make sure we always go in teams of 2 or more. Understood?
Roger that.
Who's going back to the gate to dial it?
I'll go.
I want to stay here.
I'm going to stay here too.
I'll go with him since we need buddies in groups of 2.
Okay, so
I'll stay with the android.
Are you guys on top of each other? Yeah.
yeah, so the 2 of you head back towards the gate.
Is there like a DHD device?
What do you notice?
Say again?
What is it that you can notice there? Can you see one?
So no DHD device.
If there's
that's
no
helpful.
obvious one, then
No, there wasn't a DHD. I remember there not being one.
Oh, okay. No, because I'm still new in this. I don't know whatever
no,
it
that's
is.
okay.
Yeah, because I've only watched like I said, I've only watched SG1, so I mean typically they would just go to the DHD device and
Normally
press
there
the
should be a
button.
DHD. You're absolutely
Mhm.
right. In this case, there
Hey.
does not seem to be one.
You're fine. I don't even know what a DHD
So-
device is.
So we should. So does it mean that we can't turn on the gate, or is there like some special device in the future season that has it?
There's no special device.
Okay, cool. So now we can't dial back. Is that what you're saying?
Essentially,
could
yeah,
dial
unless you've
manually.
Okay,
got
thank you.
a way of doing so.
Okay. I guess I will head back to the captain or officer. I can't remember what's his name.
All right. Yeah. Cool. We'll go back. Yeah. Come back and just tell him that there's no DHD.
And then I'll let him know about the missing DHD.
What do you mean missing DHD?
I mean, how are we supposed to dial back if there's no DHD?
Right, then I suppose no one brought an Equita generator with them either.
Nope.
What the fuck? Can I roll something to know what the hell
there's
is this
a
guy
power
trying
source
to?
around here.
Well, I mean, what is he supposed to do? Can I roll something for that?
Let's just go look around.
GM, can I roll something to
know what to
find
do?
out? No, to know his intention. Like basically, I want to roll for insight. Is there? Can I do that?
Oh, insight into Ward. Yeah. In terms of warfare is probably the one to use because it is representational of not just tactics in war, but it's also representational of mission reports of previous SGC operations. It's also represents personnel files and things like that as well. So if you're wanting to have insight into him, it's probably a warfare check.
Could you repeat again? What check?
Well, he's not particularly high up, so you're probably looking at a hard check here.
No. Which skill am I supposed to roll?
Warfare. It's a
warfare, okay.
one of the knowledge skills. Hard, so you need 3 difficulty on that.
Just roll 3 by itself. 3 purple.
You need to click off of the section for it to register that you've changed it. There you go. Yeah, so you succeed with 2 threats, so take a couple of strain. What you know of his personnel file, having read over it, is that he is usually the one assigned to training missions.
Ah.
Right. I'm gonna go head over here. Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, you can do a perception check. Make it an average check.
All right. I'm bad at perception, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'll follow the wraith and gesture the cyborg to come with me, the android.
Well, I don't get that one. I notice nothing.
Right. You don't notice anything.
May I also look around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it difficulty 2 or 1?
It'll be a difficulty of 2 there, I believe. Yep.
We all suck today.
Got advantages, at least.
All right. I'm just going to keep looking around. I'm going to go into this room.
Right. Yeah. So as you look around, Lilith thinks she hears something, but she's not entirely sure what it was.
Okay, I will let the others know, and I'll try to be more stealthy from now on.
What direction did it come from?
I don't know.
It was just a general sound that she heard just briefly. She wasn't sure what it was. She just thought she heard something because it was fleeting. Because the perception check had advantage, it didn't succeed. You would describe it as almost mechanical in nature.
Oh, it's the fucking replicators, isn't it?
We wouldn't be on a training mission with a replicator.
Could be a training replicator. I don't know.
I'm just going to hang out around this door.
Yeah, so that's the door that leads to the exit of the facility in the surface.
Hmm.
Can I do a perception check in this room?
Yep.
Average again?
Yep.
My gosh, how? Every time.
Apparently no one's seeing or hearing anything new so far.
This is
Right,
why we're-
everyone, if no one's found anything here, I suppose the next best thing, has anyone found any equipment?
Well, I can't see anything.
So yeah, Lilith, there, you definitely heard a sound this time round. You take a couple of strain, but that's the sound you heard.
Okay, definitely falling back to the main room. All right, definitely heard something. I think it might be a replicator.
Damned replicators. I go.
Okay.
So, did you find anything, or should we move out onto the surface and look for the missing personnel?
We have signs of replicators, sir.
Explain.
Sound frequencies were detected, mimicking the patterns of replicators.
Any other
Mechanical bug
signs
crawling
that
sounds.
might indicate replicator activity?
My character would know this. Would they have anything to do with the acid burns? Do they do acid damage or anything?
Yes. That's
Okay.
usually how they start eating the metals.
Yeah, they do
and various other
digest
things.
metal.
The acid stain, the acid residue that I previously determined confirms this theory.
Right. The only issue I have with this theory is, why are there no signs of the base personnel or the artifacts?
Could be cleaned
Perhaps
out.
they-
Could be trap. Could be very many answers. None of them good. under this bread could be a training exercise.
Perhaps they fled outside. Or through the gate.
Right, gate travel was prohibited. Let's check the surface. Who wants to proceed? Keep your
I'll proceed.
arms ready in case of any hostile activity. Alpha seems to be ready to lead us forward.
Where's
Right.
my token? Oh, there it is. I couldn't see it. Let's do it.
Do you? Don't know if I'll be much help in a replicator fight.
Right. Yeah. So that's not the right map, is it?
I remember this map.
Well, that's apparent. I loaded the wrong one up into Roll20, so that's what we're using now. Yeah. So the exit where the facility comes out is over here. You can see that there is some sort of vehicle crashed nearby, and then a fairly wide open expanse of sand and other rocks. Right.
All right,
Now-
let's check out that vehicle.
Excellent work. Yeah. So those of you that are going to investigate the vehicle,
I will. Hello, vehicle.
yeah. So anyone good with mechanics or that sort of thing? Try and work out how it crashed, or
Well, that's not me.
looking for anything else here, or
Also not us. I think I'll take point, take cover around those rocks and keep a lookout.
okay. Yeah. So however it is that you want to investigate this crashed vehicle, or you can just proceed and try and find tracks or signs of
What are you doing? What are you
All right. I'm going to look for tracks. Will that be survival?
it'll be hard because you don't know how long it's been, and sand, so winds will blow things around. Hard with a setback, I think.
And I'm just looking for any kind of movement or anything around us.
Okay. That'd be a perception of movement. We'll go with a hard on that one with a setback as well, because the heat and the sand.
Sorry, how many purple did you say?
So 3 purple is hard, and 1 setback, so 1 black with it.
Okay, yeah.
Does anyone else want to do the survival check since I'm not that good at it?
What is it based
I don't know
off?
if any of us are.
Cunning.
The only thing I'm good at is
Oh,
Hmm.
I guess I could try.
You'll do better than I.
Alright, I guess I will look for tracks then.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm currently patting my cat.
Yeah, so take a strain, but you notice some tracks sort of leading off in a direction more towards the south.
Okay, We've got
Before
tracks
we
going
go, are we
south.
equipped to take down? Are you guys equipped to take down replicators?
I am not. I have a Zat gun.
I mean, Zat guns don't do anything to replicators.
I know that.
Actually, anything but human weapons. Like, we need human weapons.
Does
Anyone
anybody
bring a
have
shotgun?
anything that can do anything?
Do
We
anyone
shouldn't be
buy a
charging
P90?
into our death.
P90 and shotgun.
So do you have a P90 and a shotgun?
No, I'm just saying, does anyone have a P90 or a shotgun?
Yes, I have P90.
Okay, he can go first. Actually, if you want, I'll go first because I'm the tank.
Right. You go first.
And then someone just, I need protection up the rear. All right, so heading south, yeah?
Yeah, so as you head towards the south, you keep heading that way, and there's a lot of dust, a lot of sand, dune after dune. You see a few little plants and other bits and pieces around. Occasionally some sort of lizard-looking thing.
What would it be to it's like a xenology to know what it is?
What, the lizard?
Yeah.
That'd be life science. There isn't a xenology in this.
Okay.
Why do you want to know what the lizard is?
I don't know. I want to know if it's edible.
Ooh.
We don't know how long we'll be stranded here. Don't want to operate better on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Operate better.
The lizard appears to be, it's the size of a small dog. It scurries away and seems to, as you approach it, bury itself somewhat under the sand. Off of the information you looked over the planet earlier, you know that there have been times, there were early on in the development of the base, some botanists and some xenologists come in and test the plant and animal life, they determined that if one needed to, they could eat the local lizards and some of the other animals that are found here too. And that they were in fact quite nutritious.
Good to know.
Speaking of food, how do I know who I'm compatible to feed on? I know humans, of course, but it says, like, if compatible, I can devour someone.
They have to be humanoid, usually. You can get a little bit off of animals, but not properly. It's not going to sustain you properly to do that.
So humanoids will be okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Continue.
Okay.
Can we tell what might have made these tracks?
Yeah, you look around at these tracks and there definitely appear to be not so much footprints as there's sort of like discarded bits and pieces.
Of footprints?
No, they're like little bits and pieces of debris would be a better description.
So they might have been attacked.
That is a conclusion you could make.
Alright, well, let's continue, but be on our guard.
Yeah, so as you continue down further, you find your way to a river, and it appears as though just across the other side of the river is some sort of you'd describe it as a ruin or maybe not a ruin. It looks a little bit more active than that.
What do you mean active?
Like it's inhabited would be there appears to be some small tiny like wooden boats, like canoe looking things near the entrance. It does appear to be a ruin, but it looks like someone has or is here.
Possible
Alright.
is people fled to.
Keep your wits about you. We don't know if they're friendly or hostile. Let's make contact.
Do it. Frontline Steve.
Alright, is there any protocols for meeting alien races?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
So how does everyone want to go about crossing this river?
Oh, there's a river here?
Yeah.
How deep is the river?
It's quite deep. It's going to be, you can think of different ways to do it. You could try and swim it. It's going to be an athletics check. If you want to try and figure out some other way across, you can. But
how strong is the current?
give me a check to see if you can work that out. That'll be what sort of knowledge check would that be?
Life science. That's literally biology.
Yeah, I think it would be. Yep. Life science check to determine the strength of the current.
I really need to upgrade this skill ASAP. I'm just making it average.
Right. Yeah, so you determine that right now the current's not particularly strong, that most people should be able to make it across through some easy swimming. But it appears as though there are times where it picks up quite a bit and gets a lot stronger.
Mind if I try and go first? I have a... What do I have?
Yeah, how does the android do in the water? Do you float?
Do you short circuit?
It didn't say when I read it. It just said I'm non-biotic, so I don't really get affected by anything terrestrial, I don't think. Let me have a quick look.
Tell you what, it doesn't matter because all we need to do is, is like a tree nearby?
Yeah, there's an old, very dead tree nearby.
So what we can do is we can cut off the we can cut up a plank if anyone has like a sword, and I've got a toolbox, but if anyone has a sword, we can go faster. We can cut off a plank and then just use that to hold on to as you kind of like kick across the river. It's not as good as a full-on boat, but it should be in case anyone's biology sinks, it should at least aid in getting across.
How wide is the river?
It's relatively wide. It's not like, It's probably 15 meters across, maybe 20.
Okay, that's doable then. I have a concealed climbing cord.
Okay.
What if I handed that to one of you and then tried to wade across and just tie it to the tree? And then you could pull each other across?
As I said before, on the other side of the river, you also see like 2 small wooden boats, somewhat like canoes.
We can just use
As
that.
long as one of us
Have
gets
the have
it.
Yeah, you
have
could
one
just use
have
that then, yeah.
have
It's on
some
the other
some
side.
strong person swim forward and then have the other person come back.
I've got agility, or not agility, sorry, athletics, which is bronze. I can do that.
I've also got a silhouette of 0, so if anyone wants to throw me or carry me, I'm not heavy.
Sort of 0.
Yeah. Silhouette of 0.
My athletics is 4.
I got decent brawn as well then.
Mm.
All right, so one of you brawny boys take the end of this cord and go across. And if something happens, we'll pull you back.
Oh yeah, one of them goes. One of the brawny boys swims across. The other brawny boy will hoard the coal to pull him back.
Okay.
Who wants to go to the river? Who wants to go to the river? Who wants to stay and pull, act as the safety?
I'll go on the river.
Okay, safety.
Well, my character is fearless, so I think it's probably going to be me.
All right.
Right.
Get swimming, Wraithy boy.
All right, what difficulty am I doing?
Yeah, well, the current's not particularly strong at the moment, so it's going to be an average check, but you'll have a boost. Because you're
Alright.
good at athletics. Yeah, you
Nice.
get across it, no problem. You reach the other side.
Can we tie the rope on both ends? Is it long enough for that?
So here's the other side of the river. No one else is there yet, so we'll get rid of their things.
Okay.
Also, just me.
This is the other side of the river. So here are the boats you could see. This is what you can see on the other side. So on that side where they all are still, there's that dead broken tree. There's but this is what you can see over here. Do you want to describe it to?
What I'm going to do is tie the rope to both boats, and they can pull it across.
You're going to tie it to... Do they have the strength
do you
to
guys think
pull
that's a
2
good
boats
idea?
at once, or are you going to do one at a time?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if everyone grabs the rope, maybe.
Just do
Okay.
one boat for now.
All right, I'll tie the rope to the boat.
Okay.
We could also just use the boat and row the boat.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'll tie the rope to this boat, and then I'll get in the other boat and roll back.
I'd like you to give me a... What would be one for good rope tying skill?
Survival. That's survival. That is 100% survival.
Okay, yeah, give me a survival check to see how well you tie this rope.
Okay, what difficulty?
Average.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
Should have went to Boy Scouts.
Yeah, so you tie it off, you let them know that you've tied it, and the moment they start trying to pull it, the rope comes undone and starts to slide away.
Alright, can I run? I'm going to run and jump into the boat.
Give me an average athletics first to see if you can catch the rope before it gets out of reach. Yep, there you go. Take a strain, though.
Yep. So I grabbed the rope before it slipped?
Yep, and you're sitting in the boat at the moment?
Alright. Can I try and tie it again?
Yeah, give me the survival check again if you want.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nope. You fail at tying it yet again. So you're sitting in the boat. You catch the rope again before it
At this
slips
point,
away.
we'll just pull him in.
All right, there we go. We got it.
Right. Yeah. So take some more strain. You've tied the boat to this rope properly now. You're still sitting in the boat.
I've tied the boat to the rope. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So are you gonna get out of the boat or just
I'm
sit
gonna
in
get
there?
out of that one, jump into the other one, and then row that one back.
Okay. Yeah. So you give me a hard athletics check for rowing the boat.
Hard.
Yeah.
Apparently, I can do those.
Yeah. So you row it back, and who's pulling the other one can give me a hard athletics to pull it back.
I can pull it back.
Yeah. Or if
Who's
you
got
want to
black
get
leather?
assistance with it, then
Just get everyone.
skilled assistance.
I'll give assistance.
Yeah.
I
So
will provide moral support.
if anyone's got any, like, who's got the highest ranks in athletics out of you two?
Not me for sure.
I have 1 rank.
You have 1 rank. Who's got the highest?
I have
Brawn.
3 brawn.
That'll be me. I've got 4.
Yeah. So it'll be 4 greens and a yellow because you've got 1 rank in it amongst you. So you take the highest brawn. There you go. Yeah. So as a group, you pull it across just fine. Steve rows the other one across. There appears to be you could fit 2 people in each one comfortably, or you could maybe squeeze a 3rd one in if you all want to try and keep your balance a bit into each.
All
We
right.
could do 2 of us, and Zhao should be pretty reasonable.
Okay. Yeah. So then it's a matter of rowing it across back the other side. So there's only 1 oar in each boat, so it's not going to be able to be skilled assistance. Going to be a hard check. Whoever's rowing each boat back across.
Can the other people put their hand in the water and just kind of like whoosh the water back? Get
I
a
mean,
little bit of a boost.
If someone's got a sword, just cut down that dead one of the trees that's not being tied down and use that as an oar.
Oh yeah, good point.
Anyone have a weapon they can do that with?
I can punch the tree.
How does that? I don't know.
This is Minecraft now.
I have a light spear.
Would a toolkit have a saw? Would a toolkit not have a saw?
A toolkit would be like spanners, screwdrivers, possibly a drill, small drill. Give me, spend, if you've got a toolkit, spend a story point and I'll let it have a saw in it. Why not?
Alright.
Let's just do this. I'll go with not the Wraith.
Let's not overcomplicate this. That requires hours of woodworking. That's not.
Anyone gonna spend that story point?
Nope. Let's just get in the boat and
Okay.
swim through.
Yeah, so then choose who are the 2 people paddling, I guess.
Oh, I guess
2 brawny boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll spend. I'll spend a story point for that.
For the saw. Do you have a
No, cause
Toolkit?
we're just going.
It's alright, it's alright. We'll just do it. If we lose, we lose. Or if we fail, we fail.
Okay.
All right, is it a hard check again?
Yep, just a hard check.
Didn't fail terribly.
No.
You
Can I, with the advantage, can we end up like further down?
Yeah. With that one, you didn't fail completely. You still make it across the river. You crash into the tree on the side, this side, and the boat gets damaged. It doesn't look like this boat is going to be particularly good to use next time.
Can I, because we're over here first, can they throw the rope to me and hold on to it, and I can assist them across by pulling as well or something?
Do you have any way of getting the rope that distance?
Like throwing it?
Yeah, how would you go about throwing it? Does anyone have something they can attach the rope to throw it that far?
Find a rock and attach a rock to it.
Yeah. So it'll be if someone wants to find a rock and attach the rope to the rock, you can, and then it's a ranged light check to throw it across the river. Easy check.
Easy perception.
Easy ranged light. There's plenty of rocks around. You can find one.
Anyone have good range light that came on the boat that we just hear?
I can do it.
All right. The hell is someone doing?
So
That's a very good throw.
yeah, so you throw it incredibly accurately and makes it really easy for Steve to catch, and he's holding the rope now. Who went across with Steve, sorry? Did no one go across with Steve?
No, there was definitely someone in my boat.
Yeah, I came back. I came with him.
Okay. There you go. So you have this rope, and it makes it really easy for him to pull the rest of them across in the other boat there. Just give me... Choose
the lion
between...
needs to turn his mic off. In the, whatever it is, Stargate Roll20 thing.
Give me a... Yeah, everyone gets across now just fine, so I'll bring everyone over. And I think now's a good time for the midway 5-10 minute break there.
Cool.
Grab a bite to eat, go to the toilet, whatever you want to do. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Cool. Alright, I'm back.
I love how the one skill that I want that it doesn't come with my class is the one skill I've been using constantly.
I guess I should have actually put some ranks into perception. Probably would have saved us some time.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Steve. Yeah, I got a soak of 6 and a defense of 2. I'm fairly tanky.
Dad rocks is high.
Like in the other game.
Yeah, Dad Rock has a defense of 4 and a soak of 11.
Oh. Yeah, I'm kind of going for like the tanky bruiser. So like I have a bit of damage, but I also can tank a lot as well.
Yeah, once you get up there in XP, it gets fucking ridiculous.
So I will stay behind you, but not too close.
Right. So, let me know when everyone's back, I guess.
I'm back.
Are we missing someone?
Looks like it.
You're missing the android at the moment.
Oh no, the water.
I wonder if he's taking a break or he was just like, nope, I'm out.
Well, he's still in the Roll20 thing. He didn't disconnect there, so possibly a break.
Is that Reliant?
With the amount of effort I've been doing trying to get all the bits and pieces ready for this session, the story for this session is a little bit lighter in terms of story, and is why it's a training mission. Because, well, what you're thinking is a training mission, at least, because it was an easier thing to prepare when I was spending my effort getting all the bits and pieces ready. Should be into proper storyline as of next week.
You've done really well with all the items and shit.
Thank you.
Quite impressive.
Yes. Hopefully next week we're more prepared as well.
Quick question. I didn't put it on the item list because it wasn't, but I'm assuming my character has like mobile cooking set or something.
Yeah, I'm going to have stuff like that along with hopefully the crafting or cooking guide ready by then. There's also, I don't have a general item list ready, such as GDOs, Aquita generators, other bits and pieces. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's a lot of bits and pieces that are rather necessary to have there, but I just hadn't gotten the time to get it ready. Which is why I was basically saying, for this mission, Major Ward has just given you all a GDO, but in future, there's going to be multiple types of GDOs you can get. There's going to be, when it comes to tablets or phones, there's going to be a couple of different versions you can get, but somewhat different to the Star Wars one is there's going to be a list of software you can put on things like that as well. Among them is going to be some specialized phone-to-phone technology that basically works as a radio, but goes through the phone, so you don't need a tower and you can use them off-world. But they're not going to, call someone on the other side of the planet. They're going to work the same as a military radio. There's also going to be some software you can download, like specialized software you can put on there or create that'll work as basically use the camera on there and transmit it to another phone receiving that signal within range, so that you can kind of use a phone like a MALP if you're ever stuck off world somewhere and needing to dial a different gate other than Earth for whatever reason. There'll be other, there'll be the ability to do some modifications to phones or tablets as well to add extra instruments to them, like determining atmospheric composition and stuff like that.
Could we possibly get like a drone for scouting / MELP use?
That is an Asgard talent, so you can ask your resident Asgard.
No cheap Tari drones.
Alternatively, yeah, you can head to somewhere like the Omega site where I'll have a list of purchasable stuff as well.
It's not a cheap talent, right? There's no way that it's a.
Building drones is near one of the starting ones for it, I think.
Let me check.
Hey, he's back.
Unique talents. I think it's like tier 1 or 2.
Check.
The usefulness of the drone is somewhat determined with that talent by the materials you put into it.
Yeah,
So you gotta
drone
pick it.
construct is tier 1.
What's the name of that drone construct?
Yes.
It's mechanics, and I'm not even that good at mechanics. I'm not bad at it, but
But otherwise, yes, you can find certain places that will sell things that would work as drones and stuff like that. And you can buy a full-on mount with funds if you really want to. It's just... Yeah, anyway, let's continue where we were. But yeah, the idea is for item list for next week, I plan on having the rest of it finished, ideally. If it takes any longer than that, I'll be surprised. But next week we'll start on a more interesting mission as well than just something like this. But this was an easier one to put together in time.
I feel like this is a good introduction for people who aren't used to the Genesys system. It's good starting.
Yeah, that was the idea of it a bit. Right, yeah, so you're on the other side of this river. Ahead of you, you can see, these stone, somewhat Egyptian-looking statues on either side of a path going all the way along it.
Oh, great! Replicators now gold. Fun.
From the description you
Magic
saw in the
comes to that.
database earlier, you'd say that these are the ruins that were described, or at least one part of the ruins that were described. You doubt this was everything on this planet.
All right, should we head in?
Yes, I'll gesture the others to go first. I kind of want to like stay to the side just in case something happens. Stay hidden.
Okay. Yeah, you can proceed as you feel free.
Okay, I'm just going to sprint down here then.
Yeah, so once you reach the entrance there, you find that let's move you back over here for a moment.
Ooh.
Yeah, you reach this entrance and there appears to be a large sealed door there.
How is it sealed? Can we see what's blocking it?
Yeah, you can take a look around. You look and you try and move it, and it appears to be these are large, sort of metal-looking doors. And from the way you're moving it, you would say that someone has put some sort of a board on the other side of it to bar it shut that way.
Hmm.
Are there any?
So it seems
windows
to
or other
open
entrances?
outwards, and it's like someone's put something in the handles or something on the other side, so it's not moving.
How tall is the wall?
It's a building, so it's roofed.
Oh. Right.
What was that, Lilith?
Are there any windows?
Yeah, I was asking if there were windows too.
On the front of it here, you can't see any windows.
On the sides?
Well, let me rephrase that. You can see windows, but they're tiny little slits quite high up.
Hmm.
Could someone give me a boost so I could peek in?
Yeah, I'll give you a boost.
So that'll be a combination of the person giving a boost doing athletics and the person standing on their shoulders giving a coordination.
So I roll for athletic. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so roll average athletics. There appears to be no difficulty on that one. Remember to
Does that
click
make it
off
easier for me for coordination?
Yeah,
Apparently you failed.
Oh wow, that's a bad. Wow.
So yeah, you try and give him a boost, and you drop him.
I'll
Hey.
I'll give it a go. Man, can I like somewhat like so he can kind of see what happens for a split second and then I drop him?
More like a throw, you mean, as opposed to. You know what? If there was an advantage on the last check, if Raymond would like to pass that along as a boost, I'll let you roll a boost on its own here
yeah, sure.
to add to your check.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, you successfully boost them up. So who was going up on the shoulders?
Can I? Is that including the advantage, or can I use the advantage to recover some strength?
You can use the advantage if you'd like.
All right.
I guess me, unless someone else is good at being coordinated.
Okay.
No
Yeah. So
feeding
give me an easy coordination, because
Alright. Is easy 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
Well, I mean, you made it harder than you needed to, but you succeeded it anyway.
Whoops. I forgot to click off.
Yeah, so you see through the slit, and I'm just going to move your token, and you can move your screen in a second. So you can see down there, and this is what you can sort of see through at the other side of the room there.
Okay, so there's like 7 people.
That is
People?
what you can see. Yep.
Are
There you
those
go.
actually the same people that we saw before we left?
I don't have a lot of tokens
Okay.
in terms
that's
of random people.
I wasn't sure if that was the case or not.
While you guys do that, I'm gonna go up and just knock on the door.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and knock on the door.
Yeah. So what I'll do really quickly before I say what happens with that is to give everyone sort of an idea of the terms here for difficulties. So simple is a check with no difficulty, easy is with 1 purple, average or normal is 2 purple, hard is 3, daunting is 4, and formidable is 5.
Okay.
And then an upgrade is there's a bit on the right that where you can put in an upgrade if you need to, or on the left if it's an ability upgrade as opposed to difficulty upgrade. Okay. Yeah, you knock on the door. Give me a roll check. See how loud it is.
I might not be. I'm probably not the one who should do this.
We're loving the brawl checks today.
Don't think we've done any brawl checks so far.
Oh well, Brawl is the athletics check as well.
I'm just throwing myself at the door to make noise. Like I realize that I start knocking and I realize that I'm not loud enough. So then I like ram my whole body into the door to make the noise.
Are you
take a
knocking
couple
with
of
your
strings.
head?
I believe you've got more dice there than you should have there.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Sorry about that.
That's a lot of dice.
Why is it like that? Oh no, wait a minute.
You probably have in your dice pool, and then you clicked the
Yeah, it's a
athletic
dice
skill
pool.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably what happened. You built it in your dice pool, and then clicked on the skill.
Yeah. So yeah, just put in 2 difficulty dice, then you can roll it from the skill. It'll be easier. Which are the purple ones for difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the meantime,
Then roll 2
you
purple
forgot
dice.
to you forgot to
Oh,
click off
no.
of it, I think.
But you can just add the 2 purple dice. Like you can just roll that by itself.
There you go. Yeah, so you don't have any advantage or threat, and you've still got 3 successes. So, yeah, first off, Zhao Shen throws himself into the door, and it seems to make a bit of a knock, and then Alpha just, I assume, casually just starts banging at it with his hand. From inside, you can hear a, "Who is it?" Banging it at the... What's going on?
We'd like to make contact with. Are you the? Have you seen people from a base nearby?
That's our base!
We came to. We came to deliver vaccines.
Oh, you're from the SGC! Why didn't you say so?
We're getting to that.
Yeah, a moment later, the door is unbarred and is pushed open by this woman there. Sorry, it's can never be too careful. We didn't know the SGC had gone back on duty.
Just as of today.
Oh wow, we're your first stop, are we?
Yes, I suspect that we are one of many first stops, but one of the first.
Yeah, what happened to the base?
We moved everything here.
Did you encounter a replicator?
Well, we weren't sure what we were hearing, but we couldn't sleep at night, so we came out here. Just kept hearing noises.
There were acid burns on the floor. Were you not curious what that was?
Oh, I think. Hang on, what do you mean acid burns?
In the base, I found trace residue of acid. I said the nitric acid, whatever, that caused the metal to deteriorate.
Was that in the lab, or where was that at?
It was in the main lobby.
Was it just after we came from Stargate?
Yeah,
I don't know about that. I suggest speaking to some of the scientists or someone else, see if they know anything about that. I didn't notice anything like that. I just couldn't stand the noises that never stopped.
Wait, this was a testing facility, right?
There's a research facility.
What exactly is the what exactly are they researching? Like, if not project, but like, is this biology? Is it a mechanics? Like, what is the...
It's a research and test facility, so we research artifacts found here or on other worlds. Sometimes they might be technological in nature. Other times they might, be some sort of alien language directing us to some other planet, or just random useless stuff. I don't know. That's more up to the archaeologist, that part. But the research all sorts of just artifacts that come in, both from here and other planets, and occasionally some technology that comes in.
And you said you moved here. Who made the call to come move here?
Oh, that'd be the commander.
Uh-huh. We'll have to talk to him.
Yeah. I think he's Dr. Watson is our commander.
If you could point us in direction, we would be most appreciative.
I believe he's in the antechamber with a load of the other researchers.
We will be on our... Does anyone else
I call
have
it
any
an
questions?
antechamber. It's probably more like a sarcophagus room. Right. Anyway, if you follow me, I'll lead you to Dr. Watson.
Have we ID'd this person to make sure they're actually part of the crew?
Excellent point.
I walk in front of her and immediately just stop her.
Hey, what's the big idea?
I'm assuming that Stargate would have like some sort of ID, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't know the show.
What, like, you want to know if they've got some sort of badge or identification number or whatever?
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
assuming the military of this size would have some sort of identify or code or
Well, I mean, to get back
identifying.
to Earth, they've got to use they've got to enter in their IDCs, identification codes. So, each team have their own IDC. In the Atlantis thing, it's each individual member has their own IDC instead. But in the Milky Way, it's IDCs are per team.
Hmm.
So at the moment, you're running off of Major Ward's IDC.
So there'd be no way to ID this person anyway.
Well, unless you've got some way of verifying another team's IDC, the best you can do is look at the uniform they're wearing.
Perception check. Somebody who's not me.
I'll look her over.
Yeah. Average check.
Who's our cunning guy?
It's me.
Nice.
Yeah. So you're looking over a uniform. She has sort of a embroidered name on the left side of her chest on the uniform. She has the on one upper arm. She has the patch listing Talos site. On the other one, she has a patch indicating as member of the SGC. And her embroidered name there seems to indicate that her name is Sarah Hudson.
She seems fine.
Let's say. So what's your what's your name?
Sarah? Why? What's yours?
Okay, I'm Zhao Shen.
Right.
I don't think we can. I was checking to see if the
So, Kerry.
name was different. All right, let's move along.
Yeah, Alpha apologizes for his rudeness. Gives a slight bow and extends his hand.
Okay.
Is there actually a giant Anubis statue in here?
Yeah, we think that he that at some point he was stationed on this planet. Likely before his ascension.
What about
So-
Kepri?
What was that?
Kepri, the beetle god on the floor.
Ah. Yeah, well, it's a weird mixture of different things here. We think from the research we've made is we think that one of Anubis's underlords was sort of in charge of the planet, but Anubis came by rather frequently. But I mean, as far as we can tell, no one's used this place in thousands of years.
Interesting.
Seems to be in remarkably good condition considering.
Indeed. Right, so where's your commander?
He's just up the. If you follow me, she leads you past the other SGC personnel who appear to be more the military or security contingent of the operation. Here we go.
Are there any
Here is where all the other researchers are at the moment.
We're not sensing any Gould, by the way, are we?
So far, you've not sensed anything thus far.
Okay.
Hmm.
As you step into this chamber with the varying crates, sarcophagus, and other bits and pieces, though, you are starting to pick up the presence of a symbiote somewhere. Those of you who have Naquita blood. It's not something you can sort of pinpoint where they are, it's just that they are somewhere. That's how that works.
Hmm.
And did we see anything in the reports of there being a Tok'ra or Gould at this base?
Give me a... Let's go back for warfare to see if you picked up on those sorts of reports of personnel files. Lilith didn't.
Zhao?
that Zal noticed. Zal noticed that there was a listing of a woman by the name of Walker, Dr. Walker, who has fairly recently become host to a Tokra.
Okay. It's probably looking through trying to find special dietary requirements.
Right. Not really hearing anything from anyone at the moment. So the woman who led you in here, Sarah Hudson, indicates that this elderly gentleman with a beard here is Dr. Watson.
I just realized I was muted. My bad.
Happens.
Oh, welcome. You're from the SGC, I take it.
That is correct. We're here to deliver the vaccine.
Oh, excellent. Walker, they've got the vaccine for you. Walker walks closer, Dr. Walker. Those of you with Naquita blood, as she approaches, you're sensing the symbiote a bit stronger now. Excellent. The vaccine. We can finally start administering it to people. It's excellent. I will set up a station in the main room there, and we'll have everyone come by one at a time. Yes? Excellent. So she takes the vaccines from you, and then goes and sits in the main foyer with a seat next to her, ready to give people the inoculations. So down here in this chamber, what you can see ahead of you is, aside from the stuff that's actually depicted there's also a whole bunch of supply crates and stuff that they seem to have brought with their own research, like equipment and various other bits and pieces.
Start looking.
Sorry.
I was just wondering if I could start looking through the stuff they brought and see if there's any signs of replicators.
Yeah, you can give me a check for that. That'll be now that you know what you're looking for, it'll be a physical science check.
Not good at that, but we'll try. Nope.
Alright, I guess I'll do that.
Yep.
What hard difficulty?
It'll be average. You know what you're looking for at this point. Yeah, you look through it, and it appears that everything is intact. There's no signs of acid burns. There's no signs of, small replicator blocks. There's nothing here. Dr. Watson proceeds to talk to you again. Yes, we moved here somewhat as a result of being out of contact with both the SGC and other planets, being told we weren't allowed to travel off-world or even dial the gate for so long, we figured why not be closer to the various things we're studying. So we've got our team here. There's also another team at one of the other ruin sites, and just the two teams just separated, and we figured why not live out of the place where we're studying anyway. It just much more efficient in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's totally not because one of your lab experiments went awry. Yeah, that would be silly. I say that with a like a knowing smirk.
What do you mean lab experiment going awry?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just talking crazy. But on a completely unrelated note, I'd suggest we want to maybe take this to a private room. We share over a meal. I can cook.
A meal? Interesting. You're not gonna serve those cube things, are you?
If I were to, it would be the best thing that ever. But I've been recently trying to expand my palate.
Right. Well, if you'd like to accompany me, there's our camp nearby. I can, bring you there, and we can set up and have some lovely meals.
Excellent. And we wouldn't want anyone who wouldn't you wouldn't want knowing classified information. Just throwing that out there. And I'm going to walk away when I say that.
Right. So who's going to this camp?
I go.
I'll go.
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Okay. So who isn't going to the camp?
Yeah, why
Who's
not?
staying here?
I'll stay here.
Okay.
I didn't realize. I thought I moved my token down.
I will bring. So you're choosing to stay here. Everyone else is going to the camp.
Probably good that Steve's not coming to dinner.
What do you have for the AT-ATs?
Yeah. So he leads you back to this tech camp. Ignore the ballistas. They do not exist here. Yeah, so those of you who accompany back here, I guess you can proceed. Alpha stayed behind in the ruins. What were you wanting to do over there, Alpha?
I was just going to wait over here to see if the scientist came back and what she was going to say.
Which scientist?
Well, we gave the medicine to them.
Yes, to the
then they just
medical
vanished.
doctor. She went
Yeah, and
into
I'm
the
waiting
main
for the
chamber
medical
there
doctor to
and was
come
waiting.
back.
Was administering it to the security personnel first, and then gonna have everyone.
I'm just going to wait until she's finished. Yeah, I'm going to wait until she's finished administering everything.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the main camp there then, with Dr. Watson, and the archaeologist there, Zal, Steve, Lilith, and Raymond. And what were you wanting to do there?
All right, I'm going to first cook the meal.
Okay.
I'll just make that average, I guess.
I would like to
And-
talk to him, figure out what's going on, figure out what happened to the DHT.
Well, it's bland.
Yeah, so you
Sad.
present this food to him. It's very bland. And he just sort of eats it and looks up at you for a second, trying to pretend that it's nice.
Is it
Mmm.
in the form of cubes?
Thank
Well-
you. This was just an experiment. I've had much better days. Now on to
Cuboids,
business.
maybe?
What was that? Sorry.
I was just wondering if it was in the form of cubes or cuboids.
No, this is not. I'm trying. That's why this was terrible, because I'm trying to not do cubes. I'm trying to expand and become a culinary master, which is why I failed so spectacularly on this dish.
I
But
mean, it wasn't horrible. He's just bland.
anyway, now cut the bullshit. Why really did you guys leave?
Well, we don't really understand it. What I said was partially the truth. The other part that only me and my chief of security are aware of is that the DHD went missing. And we didn't want people to realize that and panic.
Yes, I was wondering about that. Also, I must say, the food is actually pretty good. Didn't go as well as I thought.
Please don't hurt my pride. It hurts my pride more when you lie. A true chef learns from his mistakes and grows.
I also think the food is good. Apparently, I do.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, you
I knew I
didn't
could
roll any difficulty.
Oh, didn't it? Oh, I'll roll that again. Oh no, this is not going to go well.
Oh, should I not have rolled difficulty?
You
I don't
should
even
have.
like eating food.
I knew I could get to you, Steve.
I like.
I mean,
Was-
Wraith, as shown in Atlantis, Todd for one, and I think they did it a few other times. They can enjoy and appreciate food. It just does nothing for them. It doesn't, satisfy them. They might enjoy the taste.
And Lena are like, I like bland food.
So yeah, it's more you do it for the enjoyment as opposed to anything else. If you're gonna eat food, that's not. Anyway, yeah, the DHD just sort of up and vanished one day, and we figured, well, we've got told not to use it anyway. Let's stop people from panicking by moving everyone to the research sites.
And you guys have no method to contact contact the base.
Well, we were told not to, but I mean, we've got a knack with a generator. We could always dial it manually if we have to.
Has there
But
been
this
no
doesn't explain the acid marks in the building.
What acid marks?
There's there were acid marks in the main lobby of the building. Were there any reports of strange sounds?
Oh, we all heard the strange sounds. The timing of that started only a day or two before the DHD went missing, so we assume they're connected. We somewhat wonder if if maybe the Lucian Alliance or something like that might have gotten their hands on beaming technology and stolen it, given that they weren't obeying the Alliance's quarantine protocols. I mean, they're a criminal organization. Why would they obey it?
How familiar are your people with the sounds of a replicator?
Replicators haven't existed in more than 10 years. What are you talking about? They were all wiped out.
I'm saying how many of if they were to exist, how many would be able to identify the sounds that they make? Would people here have a personal experience, or would they just not know? Because it's been 10 years.
I mean, there are very few people on this particular base who would have been around during the time of the Goa'uld, or at least in terms of employed at the SGC. They were wiped out around the replicators were wiped out around that time. So I happened to be around. I was working in the SGC as a scientist during the replicator attack, but I don't know of anyone else who was around at that time. Everyone else is fairly new, or at least newer than that.
Well, that explains that question. What do you think, Lilith? I think we should go back and investigate further. Now that we can kind of know what we're looking for, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe we should take a look at the artifacts here, see if something might have awoken them. Maybe
we should take back if is there any way we could use the Naquita generator to report this to take the Stargate back? We'll investigate first, but probably should take it with us.
Oh
Or at
yeah,
least-
that's fine. He heads off to one side of the camp and opens a crate. Here's the generator. There are a few more as well if you really need them, but I assume one will do for now.
Yeah, one should be enough to dial.
Well, according to our superior, then actually, our primary mission is to was to do this and report back. So we probably should report back before any further action. Now that we have the ability to go back and we've delivered the vaccine, we should definitely file the report.
Okay, well, I guess we all get our doses of the vaccine. Was there anything else you had to do? Were you coming for like a status report on any of our research or anything?
That would be, are we? I'll have to get back to you that. I'll have to get back to the superior. Because I'm not sure if that's classified information to just, oh yeah, totally. Give me that classified information.
I believe that was part of our mission, yes, but figuring out what happened to the DHD might be a higher priority.
Okay. Well, we'll still be here when you're ready.
Wait, where did that sergeant go? Is he still back at the gate?
He was on the other side of the river. No one seemed to let him into their boat.
Let's go get him first.
Never asked. I assumed he was staying back at the.
Yeah. All right. Well, first thing we do is let's go back and get him. All right. You've been most helpful. Thank you. I'll make sure to write glowing reviews in your report.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to researching this this artifact here.
Which artifact is that?
It's this really interesting cube. Each side of this cube has a different alien language on it. Yeah. So he walks you all back to the thing here, and I guess a bunch of you are then planning on checking on Major Ward by the sound of things.
Wait, what?
So, like, he's brought you all back here now, and he's gone back to researching this cube.
Okay.
Yep. Do we all want to go back to Radio Home, or
So,
does anyone wanna stay and
as you
look
get
for the
back to
archive?
this river, it appears to now be low tide. The river is, somewhat less wide, and you could wade through it if you really wanted at this point.
Can someone still with the boat? I'm a very
yeah,
fragile.
aside from maybe in Asgard.
I'll
Or
let
actually,
Vlad
if you
say
could wade
that.
through it, can I actually sit on the android shoulders?
Sure. So technically, I don't need to breathe anyway, so I could have just walked through it at any point.
She got like stuck in the mud.
Oh god.
Piggyback ride. Let's go.
Wait a second. I'll pick up the Asgard, put him on my shoulders, and then I'll sit on the android's shoulders. I don't want to get wet either.
Slowly sinking into the mud.
Onward, steed.
Yeah, so you head back across, and you find yourselves down here. Well, what is it? What did you find?
Detail report. They moved over there. Strange reports. What we assumed to be replicators because they were said strange sounds that none of them could identify, and none of them were around. We've also established that none of them had any prior knowledge or familiarity with replicators. We also have the Naquita generators to go back. The vials have been delivered, and if we need updates on their research, we can go back and get it, but I wasn't sure if we had clearance to handle such sensitive data.
That was part of your mission here, was to determine what relevant research had been discovered in the meantime, during these past 2 months.
Well, we still have I came back to double check, and we can go back easily and retrieve that information.
Well, first I'll have a few of you go and make a report to Stargate Command. And you can take the Naquita generator with you. Make sure you've got someone who knows how to manually dial a Stargate.
Of course.
Preferably someone with the strength to do so.
Okay, I guess I'll go then. Steve is on the case.
I'll stay behind for get the data.
Okay. So nearby Major Ward, there's also some of those other people who have come on this expedition with you, because there was another, 3 people, but they all stayed back on this side of the river with Major Ward. Would you suggest? What would you suggest we do here? Do you think we should investigate the base further, or do you think it's illogical and unsafe to do so? Based on your gathered information thus far.
Based on the gathered information, I would say that
we definitely should investigate further. However, currently our priority is to both report back and get the data. So I suggest that we report back, we get the data, we reconvene, and then we investigate further.
Excellent. You choose. Make sure to stick to protocol and stay in teams of 2 or more.
Alright,
So-
well, I'll go with him.
Who's going back to report to SGC with the Naquita generator?
Me. Steve.
Steve and who?
I guess I'll go.
Okay. Steve and Alpha are going to go report that. So I will give you. There you go.
By the way, who is the highest rank among us?
Probably the military Tari guy.
Yeah, could be me. Yeah.
I think he's the only one with any SGC rank so far.
I ended up doing 2 ranks, so I'm specialist.
Oh, okay. Then
Oh,
you're
yeah.
equal rank.
Ha.
So you spent the 10 XP on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Sweet. I'm in charge.
But I mean, you're equal rank with Specialist Raymond Hugh.
But there's 2 of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Major Ward's currently in charge, but the two, you're both Specialist. Anyway, yeah, so the rest of you are heading back across the river, I guess?
Yep.
So as you get back there, you find that Dr. Walker has finished administering the vaccine to most of the people here, and she's doesn't seem to be here currently. Yeah. So in the meantime, those.
Dial up the gate.
Yeah. So does someone know how to? Oh, okay. No worries. Does someone know how to manually dial a gate?
Maybe can I do a check?
Yeah. Knowledge, physical science. It's something that will have been taught to most people, so it's going to be an easy check.
Yeah, I don't know. Work for me. Knowledge side.
Yeah. You know how to manually dial a gate, so you know how to plug in the Naquita generator, and then then it usually takes 1 to 2 people to spin the gate round. So you all know Earth's address, so you don't have to do any checks for dialing it. And you manage to establish a connection there.
Do we have a radio?
Currently, yes.
Okay. Radio through. Hello, this is Steve. Is this Stargate again? I don't know my accent.
Hello,
Is this the team we sent through the Talos site?
This is right.
Excellent. You're a little overdue on your scheduled report.
Apologies. We did not have a what is it called?
DHD.
We did not have a DHD on this end.
What do you mean you don't have a DHD? It's a research site.
Yes, but there is no way to dial back. It apparently disappeared.
Do they know how that happened?
Apparently there were strange sounds. And then all of a sudden it vanished. They said they suspect that it was beaming technology.
Well, that's unhelpful. We'll send through a team with a... Do you suggest we send people, or do you want to investigate further and see if you can find it? What's the plan there? What does Major Ward want you to do?
He wanted us to tell you as much as we can right now, but we are continuing to do the current mission we will send for, which is the vaccines, as well as looking and investigating the strange sounds that have been...
Very well. We'll dial back in an hour and we'll see how the progress is going. And if need be, we'll send a team through with a specialized dialing computer.
No problem.
Okay. Report any other findings you have.
Thank you for your service.
And the gate shuts off. And everyone else who's come back here to speak with the research team, I guess, can do that.
Everybody's introverted.
Hello.
I'm just moving my character. Moving my character all the way to the back. All right. I go back to the guy who previously was like, about the report. I've been given authorization to look over the reports.
Oh, yeah. So what would you like to know about first?
I am not aware of this, so tell me all of it.
Okay. Well, I want to start you with my favorite thing here. That we found so incredibly recently. It doesn't match Goa old architecture, and it's this cube thing. Like it's got a different language written on each side. Now we've only managed to translate the Asgard written on one side. It seems to be some strange-looking poem. Another side here seems to have ancient written on it. Like it's. From what we understand, though we've yet to figure out how to translate either of these languages, two of the other sides there appear to be the Nox and Furling languages. So it must have been something to do with the Council of Four Great Races back in the day. But it's these two additional languages on here that really intrigue us, because there's having 6 different languages. We only knew of an alliance of the 4, so we don't understand why there's an extra 2 here. But the only one we've translated so far is the Asgard. Would you like to take a look? I'm sure you understand it.
I'll take a look.
Yeah. So you read the Asgard on this side, and it reads. I saw the sun, true star of day, drop the dining earth. Elsewhere I heard the gates of hell groaning heavily. I saw the sun, scored with bloody signs. I was waning in this world. Fiercer she seemed, in many ways, than she had before.
This is ominous.
Are Asgard known for their poetry?
We're known for our intelligence.
You're not able to decipher the ancient side?
Oh, well, yes. It doesn't make a lot of sense, though.
What does it say?
It seems to mention Lucifer, and then goes on to say the future which cannot be known, or what the Assyrian numbers say, of your fate and my own. Put it away, don't waste your time. Winter will come and break the lower sea on the rocks, while we drink summer's wine. See, in the white of the winter air, the day hangs like a rose. It droops down the reaching hand. Take it before it goes.
That's obviously a warning.
It's
Yeah, for what?
For what, I don't know, but the Asgardian side included a monster from hell, and now it's mentioning Lucifer, a temporary peace and an impending doom.
Also a lot of sun and light being mentioned.
Yes. Could it be related to the stars, maybe? A supernova, perhaps? The death of a galaxy?
Well, I mean, they're the only two we've managed to translate so far. If someone wants to try one of the others, I mean, this one over here, as far as I can tell, like it looks like some derivation of like Aztec or Mayan or something.
Can I do I have the cube? Do I see it?
Yeah, he's handing it to you.
Is it,
The size of it, it feels like it's made of some sort of metal, but it's not anything that would be readily identifiable.
is there a side with Gould? Gould?
There is no side with gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to interrupt. Because I gotta leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No worries.
thanks for
We'll
running
be
it.
wrapping this one up fairly soon anyway, and then continuing next week.
Okay. Goodbye.
Have a good one.
Could I try touching the cube on the ancient side?
Yeah.
Wait, could the impending doom have anything to do with the replicators?
What
am I completely
replicators?
off base?
I don't like. You keep talking about replicators. I swear I've not seen anything that would indicate replicators. The noises. I mean, it's been a long time since I've heard them, but I don't. I mean, surely they would have consumed the base much more thoroughly if there were replicators there.
Well, it might not have been all of them, but it might be small. But the sound is unmistakable, combined with the acid burn marks in the lobby.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, even if there's only a small number, the whole thing is replicating, and the interior of the base is made of metal. So I would have thought it'd be pretty much gone if there were replicators.
That entire poem, that entire box is about temporary peace and how incoming doom. It could be trapped in some way or like sealed.
Very strange. Maybe it's starved. But have you found anything else that might be related to the cube?
No, everything else seems to be of Goa'uld origin. This is the only thing here that we've found so far that But that's partly why we moved out here and to the other ruins, was because, after discovering this, we wanted to check everything thoroughly and see if we could find anything else connected.
Were there any Goa'uld objects of note that you recovered that were strange and or significant?
Well, there's the tablet.
What tablet?
There's the very large tablet at the base of the sarcophagus. At the base of the sarcophagus.
Go over and have a look at that.
Let's look at that.
Yeah. So, I thought the tablet was just, describing the Goa'uld who might have been in charge of this particular facility under Anubis. Yeah, the tablet in Goa'uld says, you're a Toker and a Goa'uld, so you can read it.
Yeah, I figured.
For the angel of death spreads his wings on the blast, and breathed in the face of the foe as he passed. And the eyes of the sleepers waxed deadly and chill, and their hearts but once heaved, and forever grew still. And there lay the steed with his nostrils all wide, but through it rolled not the breath of his pride. And the foam of his gasping lay white on the turf, and cold as the spray of the rock-beating surf. And there lay the rider distorted and pale, with dew on his brow and rust on his mail. And the tents were all silent, the banners alone, the lances unlifted, trumpets unblown. We read through that, and we figured it was describing some battle or war between different factions.
Seems like it, but
It seems that it's a tomb of some sort. Like this is like a resting place of something.
Yeah, well, we weren't about to open the sarcophagus after what happened in the Tiamat, years ago to SG-1 and the Russians.
Yeah, that would not be a smart move.
do I get the sense of a symbiote inside the sarcophagus?
It's hard to tell directions of this sort of stuff, but Dr. Walker isn't around anymore. She's left off to the second site to administer the vaccine there now. You're very much sensing Zhao Shen's symbiote, and there's both of you are possibly sensing another one, but you're a little unsure.
Okay, I'll get really close to the sarcophagus and tell Zhao Shen to back off.
Yeah, you're still sensing a symbiote.
Okay, yeah, there's something in there.
I don't think we should wake it.
Right. Should definitely make sure it's secure.
Yeah, the sarcophagus appears to have no obvious way to open it. Unlike most where you would want to use it to recharge, it's possible, from what you can see here, that this one might be used as some sort of imprisonment
I'm familiar with those.
The sleeping thing. Yeah, this is well, it's Goa'uld, so it might be really good if it fucked the Goa'uld, but it also might be awful.
Are there any writings or symbols on the sarcophagus?
Yeah, there's a few. It seems to describe a gate address.
Huh.
Because of my character's background, can I roll like a general knowledge to see if I have any like ideas of like of hints of what this could possibly be referenced to?
You mean the one written on the tablet there?
Yeah, like the genetic memory and stuff. Is there any way I could like know like
Sure.
anything about?
Yeah,
Just
give me
general
a
knowledge.
general knowledge. Yeah, you know, from your memories, there was a you know, before Anubis disappeared, there was a war between Anubis and Ra, and a bunch of Anubis's underlings who weren't killed in the battles were, you know, for their part in it, were imprisoned in various places by Ra.
Okay, I mentioned that to Lilith. Could be a follower of Anubis.
Yeah, and judging by all the mentions of the sun, seems likely that Ra would be the one that did it.
I mean, the
Not sure.
mentions of the sun were on the cube in,
Yeah.
you know, languages that the Goa'uld probably weren't that familiar with.
So my character would know this, but out of character, is Anubis also a bad guy? Ra's a bad guy.
Yeah, Anubis is
Definitely a bad guy.
yeah.
Okay.
Without
He's like-
spoiling the
he's
show,
like the
given
worst.
you've not gotten up to that part,
Oh,
there's bad, and then there's emperor
worst.
level sort of stuff.
Yeah, also, Anubis is the god of the sun.
No,
Or, sorry,
Anubis is
Ra's
the god of the under.
sun. Anubis is the god of death.
Horus is the god of sun, yeah.
no, you're thinking of Ra, aren't you?
No, it is Horus in mythology, but in Stargate, Ra was, and Horus was his son, who they called Heroer instead of Horus. Yeah, Heroer is Ra's child, basically, offspring, whatever, and
That's what I believe.
that's how they run it
Technically.
in Stargate.
Yeah. Technically, the correct pronunciation is Ray.
Yeah.
But no one does.
Well, I inform the well, I tell Lilith that, and I think we've got enough to make a report. Oh, and I go and tell them, whatever you do, do not open that sarcophagus.
Well, we've been here for, you know, researching stuff on this base for near on a year, and we've never opened it. We're not that stupid.
I'm just confirming.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Might even want to like throw some chains around it.
Yeah, you might want to beef up security as well.
Right. Okay. I think
Is that
that's
all
a
that you wanted to show us?
well. I mean, you're welcome to look around and see if there's anything else of use here to you. But you know, there's a bunch of scrolls, and you know, we're still studying most of the stuff here.
right then.
Okay.
Can we take a picture of the sides of the cube, or?
Yeah, go for it. Take a picture. It's probably a good idea.
All right, so we'll take that and then whatever notes they want to give and head back, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So the sides that you're looking at here on this cube, you know, the identifiable ones, you know, there's the Asgard, there's the ancient, there is Nox language, there is Furling writing, and there is what appears to be some form of Aztec or Mayan or something. The fifth side, you know, they weren't able to identify. Whether or not you can is more up to a xenolinguistics check. And then,
Did you want to take a stab at that, Joe?
Oh, make a linguistics check.
Yeah, I could maybe help, but I'm guessing you're probably better at that than me.
I mean, do you have any ranks in it?
No.
Yeah, I'm not even buying talents. I'm just gonna put all of my points and skills because
I
that's
definitely
apparently
need all
what I
my
do.
skills as well.
Where is Anubis? There it is. Oh, actually, I'm not very good at xenolinguistics. I only have 2 green.
Same for me.
It's wisdom, willpower. Still do it though.
yeah. So the extra language shown here appears to be it's familiar to you from you know, one of the various it appears to be what the Asgard refer to as an alpha.
Okay.
Alpha.
Sorry, not alpha. That's never mind, that's something else. I'm reading it's Jotun.
A Jotun?
Yeah. The Asgard referred to this language and the people of this group as Jotun.
Alright, guys, sorry, but I've got to go.
Yeah, well, I think we'll end it there anyway.
Okay.
So it'll be
Jotun a
10
dwarf?
experience for the session that everyone will get, and then yeah, we'll be back next week.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Sorry for the bumbling around.
That's okay. I was. There you go.
Said 10 XP.
Yes.
I think I'll
And
just put that right into perception.
at the end of a particular successful mission, I'll probably give bonus XP to some degree, but until then, it'll be a base of 10.
Might be a while before we actually succeed at something.
And I'm assuming someone is recording notes for yourselves as to what you're finding and stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, my vote. Someone else will want to do because I'm doing really vague notes, just very general.
I'm bad with notes as well.
It's okay. It's more, if what you're recording is what your characters are gonna remember.
What was the race again? Of that Asgardians called him?
Yo,
Yot.
Believe it's spelled with a J. If it's anything like the Norse.
yeah. Yeah, so the idea is, and this is something that Shen would know, before the Asgard learnt to speak a bunch of the other languages of the various races they interacted with, they had their own names for the races. So the Nox were known as the Alpha. Alpha. The Ancients were often referred to as I've forgotten which one I gave them. The Furlings were also called Verga by the Nox, by the Asgard. The Ancients were called I've forgotten which one it was.
I know they were called road builders.
Yes.
But
Hang on, give me
I
a moment.
think I know who the Jotun are.
Sorry?
I just watched that episode recently.
Which
The
one
frost
was that?
giants.
Yes.
The giants. The crystal skull.
That's the
They also spoke Aztec.
yes.
All right. See you guys next week.
Okay. Have a good one.
So yeah.
You too.
Well,
Okay.
it was a bit of a long